Croeso or pawb to the big games, big deals, and games under £15 PSN sales. And as usual, I've gone through the sale for you and I found some really cool games on really big discounts for you to play. So if you like finding cool and interesting new games to play and saving a lot of money along the way, then don't forget to subscribe. You're welcome here anytime. Now this sale ends on the 22nd of May, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. And the first game we have is Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot The First Class. It was released in 2021, so it's 3 years old, and it's on at least a 75% discount for the price of £4.99 or £3.99 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. This puzzle game is set in his early years, where Poirot is invited to an engagement celebration, but after a snowstorm descends and everyone is trapped within the manor house, a murder occurs, and Poirot begins to investigate, uncovering buried secrets and deadly rivalries amongst the guests. Now this game's a sequel to the ABC Murders game, which is often on sale cheaper than this, and it's a really good game. I've covered it before and I've completed it myself, and I absolutely loved it. It was a really fun detective puzzle game, and if you like Hercule Poirot, this is a great series to get into. Now this game hasn't been on a sale anywhere near this cheap before, so if you've been waiting for it like me, then this should be the first time you consider buying it. Basically, if you like detective games or puzzle games, then you should really enjoy this. I loved the first game, and if the second one's anywhere near as good, then you'll have a lot of fun with this game, especially if you're a fan of Hercule Poirot or detective and puzzle games in general. So if you like the sound of that, why not check it out? And hey, if you've never played a puzzle game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get other games cheaper, especially the ABC Murders game, and you can also get other games that are much more AAA or from much bigger franchises that are also cheaper than this, so you're probably better off starting with one of them instead. So keep checking back, and I'll let you know when they're on sale next. Up next is Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, but it's much older than that really, as it originally came out on the PS3. So keep that in mind. And it's on an 80% discount for the price of £5.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. It's not often on sale, and it's never been this cheap before either. So it's a pretty decent deal, especially as this version is remastered in 4K with improved gameplay mechanics, and it also includes the solo DLC and the full Vita game Assassin's Creed Liberation remastered for the PS4 as well, which means you're basically getting 2 games, which is really great. In this open world game, you get to relive the American Revolution, set in 1775, where you play as Connor, a Native American assassin, trying to secure liberty for his people and nation. It features the first instance of naval combat in the series, which is amazing because that's a big thing these days, and it was a great feature they added back in the day. Now I have to say Assassin's Creed games are really good or really pretty poor these days. They've got good periods and bad periods of the game releases. Now this may not be from the golden era of the series, but it's not far off. It's one of the better ones, and it's an overlooked one as well. A lot of people didn't play it at the time, but compared to the series as a whole now, it's a really good game. So if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed and you never played this one, this might be a really good time to pick it up. I really like the theme of this game with the tomahawks and the running through the forests. The theme is what really sells Assassin's Creed games these days, and this is one of the more intriguing ones to me. The weapons are just cooler, and the time period is really interesting to me. So if you need this for your collection, or you're just a fan of open world action games, then you should definitely take a look at this, especially considering it includes a whole other game for free as well. You can't go far wrong, because you can't play that game unless you own a Vita either. This is the only other way to play it. So if you like the sound of this game, why not take a look? I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it. And hey, if you've never played an open world game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here, not because it's not a good game, but because you can get others from the same series, or even other big AAA franchises, cheaper than this on sale, so you're probably better off starting with one of them instead. Unless you're really keen on this one, then go for it, but if not, hang around for the other sales, and you can pick up a different game instead. We have a racing game next, Cars 3 Driven to Win. It was released in 2017, so it's 7 years old, and is on a 93% discount for the low price of £3.35, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a fantastic deal, especially considering it's a really good quality game with a big franchise attached as well. This racing game is based on the Pixar movie series, where you get to race over 20 customizable characters from the movies on over 20 different tracks. It features 6 game modes to play, including battle racing, and 4-player local co-op as well. So it's a lot of fun to play with friends or kids at parties as well. So if you're a fan of action racing games like Mario Kart or that sort of game, there's not a lot of options around for that sort of thing, and especially if you don't own a Nintendo console, there's even less for you to look at as well. And this looks like one of the better ones. It's from a big franchise and it looks like it's really good quality. So if you're looking for a cool little racing game, especially one with combat and weaponry included, then you might want to take a look at this. It'll be a lot of fun with friends, and you might just enjoy playing it solo as well. So if you like the look of it, definitely check it out. And hey, if you've never played a racer before, then you could start here. It's a really good game, and it's a bit actiony and combat-y as well. So if you like this sort of thing, have a look. But if you're looking for a more serious racing game, then you're better off starting somewhere else instead. But don't worry, I'll let you know when there's a good deal next. Our next game is Gauntlet Slayer Edition. It was released in 2015, so it's 9 years old, and is on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really crazy deal for a game with this series' heritage. In this dungeon crawler, you get to invade the darkness and fight with your friends against monstrous hordes through a myriad of unique dungeons as you seek gold, equipment, and abilities for your character. It features 4-player local and online co-op, and character customization as well. Now I have to say these sorts of games in general are much better to play with friends, and that's why it's got 4-player co-op included. So if you've got a group of friends that you play games with regularly, this might be a really good deal for you. It's really cheap and you can all pick it up for practically nothing, and you probably have a lot of fun playing it as well. But if you're looking for a solo game, this is a good game, but you won't have as much fun as you would with friends. It's really designed around that. So if you're looking for some old school hack and slash fun, and you like dungeon crawlers, then why not take a look at this? It's an old school game, but it's a really good deal, and if you like this sort of thing, you'll have a lot of fun. And hey, if you've never played a dungeon crawler before, then this is a really good place to start. The game's got a lot of heritage to it, and it's at a really good price as well. So you can't go far wrong really. If you're interested by this genre, or you just like the look of this game, why not take a look? It might just be the best game you've played in ages. Up next is my Star by LEGO Marvel Collection. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, although a couple of the games are older than that really. And it's on an 85% discount for the price of £7.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a fantastic deal, as this collection includes the LEGO Marvel's Avengers game, LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1, and LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, plus all of the Season Pass content for all 3 games, which means you're getting 3 full games, and all of the DLC for all of them included, which is a massive amount of content, making this a really great deal. In these adventure platformers, you get to play a massive roster of Marvel characters as you play through the storylines from some of the biggest Marvel movies and all of the new adventures too, and you even get to fight some of the biggest villains from Marvel history that haven't been featured in the movies yet either. So you're getting a load of extra stuff that you haven't even seen yet if you've only seen the movies, which is really cool. Now, in general, the LEGO games are really fun, and they're great for kids, and because they often include co-op as well, you can play them with your kids, or with your friends if you both like LEGO games. They're really fun, they're really funny, they include a lot of comedy, and they always include tons of characters as well. Pretty much the only thing you have to decide is what franchise you want, because there's so many franchises covered by the LEGO games that there's always something that you can find that you'll like. So if you're a big fan of Marvel, and you like platformers in general, or you just want a game to play with your kids or your friends, then this is a great series to look at, and you get a lot for your money with this, a huge amount of content. Like I said, it's my star buy, it's well worth your time and money, I promise. And hey, if you've never played an adventure puzzle before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here, because you're getting a ton of games for your money, but if you don't like them, that means you're stuck with a ton of content that you're never going to play, so you're much better off starting somewhere else instead, and then if you like the genre, you can always pick this up in another sale instead. Our next game is Mortal Kombat 11, Ultimate PS4 and PS5. It was released in 2020, making it 4 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £7.49. Which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and an absolutely fantastic deal, as this edition includes the PS4 and PS5 edition, which has improved graphics, loading times, and a 4K resolution as well. So you're getting a really good version with the PS5 edition, and it also includes the Aftermath DLC story expansion that adds a whole new story campaign as well. It basically doubles the game, and you even get 3 new characters of Shiva, Fujin, and Robocop as well. Yeah, you heard me, Robocop, that one. You're thinking of the right one, I promise, which is really cool. I love the extra characters in the Mortal Kombat games, and it's really exciting to see what they come up with next. Plus, this even includes 2 more character packs of Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, Sindel, Mylena, Rain, the Joker, yes, the Batman Joker, Rambo, yes that Rambo, Terminator, yeah him, and Spawn, yep the DC guy, plus 7 exclusive skins, 6 skin packs, and an extra character of Shao Kahn as well. So not only are you getting the complete version with all of the DLC and content included and a ton of extras, you're getting a load of extra characters, including a load of really cool movie ones as well. You can't ask for much more really. This is the best version of the game with everything included. It's an awesome deal. In this definitive version of the fighting game, it includes 2 full story campaigns where you get to fight to save Earth's past from being erased, and it features 37 characters to play as, with thousands of skins, weapons, and gear to customize them with. And it includes over 6 game modes to play, with every stage and fatality included. You're getting the complete version of this game, and let's be honest, the Mortal Kombat series are amazing. Especially lately, they've been hailed as a really good franchise. They've put a lot of effort in, and their story and single player campaigns are really good. They provide a lot of content, and it puts other fighting games to shame. Tekken, Street Fighter, you could learn from this. Up your game. So if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat or you just like fighting games in general, definitely take a look at this. I've never seen it anywhere near this price before, and it's a really good deal with everything included. If you're in any way interested, definitely take a look. I promise you won't be disappointed. And hey, if you've never played a fighting game before, then I would recommend starting here. It's from a great series, it's a good version with a lot of content included. You can't ask for anything more really. Unless you're not particularly interested in the theming of this, or you don't like gory combat, then you might want to check out a different one instead. But it's unlikely, let's be honest. And hey, on a side note, for an extra £1.50, you can get the Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Edition, which is this game, and the Injustice 2 Legendary Edition bundled in with it. So if you're interested in fighting games in general, or you like DC superheroes, check that out, because it's barely any extra money, and you're getting a complete other game included with a ton of content as well. That is the best deal really, but it's only for fans of fighting games that want 2 for the price of 1. Practically anyway. Take a look at that if you're interested. We have a racer next, MXGP3 Special Edition. It was released in 2017, so it's 7 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the crazy low price of £1.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it for non-PS Plus members. So if you don't have PS Plus, this is a really good deal for you, as it includes the £8 DLC Season Pass as well, which is really good. You're getting the best version of the game with everything included. In this Motocross Racer, the only officially licensed motocross game, with completely new graphics and gameplay, you get to race on 18 official tracks, with all of the riders and bikes from the 2016 MXGP and MX2 seasons, with more than 300 officially customizable components. If you're a fan of the series, and you like the official content, you can't ask for much more really. It's got it all, and it's got a ton of content included as well, which is really great. So if you like racing games, or especially motocross, or bike racing, then you should definitely take a look at this. This may be a bit of a niche racing series, but if you're a fan of it, there's a lot of fun to be had, and especially at this price, you can't ask for much more really. So if you're interested, take a look. I'm sure you'll have great fun. And hey, if you've never played a Motocross Racer before, then I would recommend starting here. They do have a lot of games in this series, and some of them have different features, but this is a really cheap one, so why not take a look at this one, and then if you really like it, you can always pick up the newer ones at a later date, in another sale. We have a VR game next, Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul. It was released in 2017, so it's 7 years old, and it's on at least an 80% discount for the price of £3.99 or £1.99 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it for PS Plus members only. So if you've got PS Plus, this is a really good deal right now. Now, this is a VR horror game where move controllers are compatible, so if you have them, you can use them, which is really good. Games that support that are always much better to play and way more fun, generally anyway. This game is based on the films where you explore a house and soon discover that you aren't alone as you start to unravel the mystery of its past and struggle to survive the terror that is beginning to hunt you. Now, as you probably know by now, I'm a massive fan of VR. I've got both of the VR headsets for PlayStation and I really love them. And there's nothing like playing games in VR. They're great for immersion, especially horror, which is why I stay away from horror games, because they're really scary in VR, and that's not my sort of thing. But I have to say, the genre is perfect for VR. So if you've got a PSVR 1 and you like horror games, you should definitely check this out. This is a really good AAA game, and it's really good quality. You'll be doing yourself a massive favour playing it if you like VR and horror. So if you like the sound of it as much as I think you do, then why not take a look? It'll scare you senseless, and you'll probably like that, right? And hey, if you've never played a VR horror game before, then you could start here. If you've got PS Plus, it's a good deal, but if not, you can get other horror games at about the same price, so you do have options as well. So if you don't have PS Plus, you're better off waiting for another sale, but if you do, you could pick this up, or you could wait for another game in another sale instead. You have a few options here. Oh look, another VR game next, Shadow Point. It was released in 2022, so it's only 2 years old, and it's on at least an 80% discount for the price of £3.19 or £1.59 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal if you've got PS Plus. In this puzzle adventure, move controllers are required, which is great because the gameplay revolves around it and it makes it way more fun to play. VR really hinges on this, it makes the games way better and the immersion is much better. And this game is even narrated by Sir Patrick Stewart, where you get to embark on an adventure to another realm, investigating the mysterious disappearance of a schoolgirl at an abandoned observatory. And it features over 80 puzzles, and a full voice cast as well, which is really cool. It's nice to have high production values with these sorts of games, they just make them way better and way more fun to play. I love VR, I love puzzle games, this looks like one of the better ones around, and I've been looking to pick it up myself. I'm not quite ready yet because there's other games I haven't played yet, but I'm definitely picking this up at some point. It looks amazing, and I think you'll have fun too. If you like puzzles and VR, definitely take a look at this one. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle adventure before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here, unless you've got PS Plus, because if you do, it's a really good deal right now. But if you don't, you're better off starting with one of the other ones instead, because you can pick them up cheaper, and I've played some of them, and they're really good games. And then you can always come back to this one, when it's on a better sale for non-PS Plus users. Up next is the Spectrum Retreat. It was released in 2018, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £2.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. In this puzzle game, you are a guest of the robot-operated Penrose Hotel, where you must explore the mysteries of the hotel by solving colour-based puzzles to reach higher levels of the hotel. Now I've got this game and I've completed it myself, and I really enjoyed it. I play quite a lot of puzzle games, and this one was really good. The story's intriguing, but ultimately not that complicated. But the puzzles are really good, and I really enjoyed them. I never got bored in the puzzles, and I never found them really difficult to the point where I wanted to give up. The worst thing in puzzle games is when they make a puzzle that's so obtuse or hard to understand that it takes a long time to finish. But I had a great time with this game. I really enjoyed it, and if you like puzzle games, I think you will too. So why not check it out if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played a puzzle game before, then this is a good place to start. It may not be one of the best ones ever made, but it's a really good one, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. So if you're interested in the genre, then why not take a look at this game? I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it, and you may even find your new favourite genre to play. We have a racing game next, TT the Isle of Man, Ride on the Edge. It was released in 2018, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is really great. Now this racing game faithfully recreates the 37.73 miles, 264 bends Snaefell mountain course. It features over 25 official riders, 38 bikes, and gameplay tested by the real TT riders as well, so you know it's as authentic as possible. It may be a niche race, but it's a really exciting and unique one, and that makes the game really exciting and unique as well. If you like racing games, or especially bike racing games, you should definitely take a look at this. It's a very unique race, and it's a very unique game that I think a lot of people will enjoy if you like this sort of gameplay. So hey, if you like the sound of what I've said, then why not take a look? It's a really cool and interesting game, and you might have a lot of fun with it. And hey, if you've never played a racing game before, then you could start here because it's a really good deal, but it is a niche race, and it's not very mainstream, so it might put you off. So if you're not sure, don't worry, there's plenty more games you can pick up in this genre at about the same price, so hang around, and I'll let you know when they're on sale in future sales. And the final game I have for you is Wasteland 3 Colorado Collection. It was released in 2021, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of $7.99, which is a really good deal, as this collection includes the Battle of Steeltown and the Cult of the Holy Detonation DLC as well as some extra gear for your character. So again, the complete version of the game, which is really good. In this turn-based strategy RPG, you get to take control of some desert rangers as you try to save Arizona by embarking on a desperate quest to gain help in exchange for ridding Colorado of 3 bloodthirsty warlords. It features base building, story decisions, and 2-player online multiplayer as well, which is really good. You don't see a lot of top-down RPGs these days, and it's really nice to see something a bit more old school, and this series has been around a while, and it's really well reviewed. People seem to really like this series. So if you're a fan of old school RPGs, you'll probably really enjoy this series, so you might want to check this out, and the rest of the games from the series as well. You'll have a lot of fun if you like this sort of thing, I promise. And hey, if you've never played a turn-based strategy game before, then you could start here, but you do have quite a lot of options in this genre, and there are more AAA ones, or ones from bigger series that you can get at about the same price, or even cheaper than this as well. So you have a lot of options, and you could start here, but you might have better ones in future sales. So you have a lot of choices to make. Either way, the decision's yours, not mine. I just give you some information. So take a look at this, or wait for another sale. The decision is all yours. And that's all the games I have for the big games, big deals, and games under £15 PSN sales. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the star buy? Did it deserve it? Or should some other game have got it instead? Leave your comments below and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you guys found some cool games to play, but more importantly, I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Hoil Vour.